here with head coach Jack Owens after a wire-to-wire 65-60 victory over Northern Illinois. Coach, first your opening statement.
Yeah, just a great game. Obviously, Northern Illinois is leading the West, and just a great game. Monty does a great job, but I was just proud of our guys' fight. You know, we were down 2 guys, and the guys just stayed together. We had 2 good days of practice, and we were able to put a game plan together and have some guys step up. It was just great to see.
You started off the game very quickly and with a lot of energy, too, which is kind of surprising due to Nike and Delonte being out. Right. How were you able to get off to that fast start?
Well, first of all, we had a great crowd. You know, this is something that hopefully we can continue to build and have. You can just feed off the energy. You know what I mean? Our guys are excited. You know, you see people in the stands, and you're at home, and you have a great opportunity to win. This is what it's about. Hopefully, this is something that we can continue to work towards and having people come out. But just thank the president and our administration for putting it together, and hopefully, this is something that we can continue to have. But the guys did feed off of that, and came out and played well.
Speaking of that aggressive defense, you kind of gave NIU a little bit of taste of their own medicine. You guys, they've been famous all season for sort of like grinding guys down in the first half and really springing on them in the second half. You guys really kept up with them well and out-hustled them on several different plays. What do you think attributed to your team's elevated defensive play tonight against such a tough opponent?
Outside the OU game, our team defense has been trending in the right way. You know, and then at OU, it wasn't awful. You know, I believe we gave up 33 points in the first half. We just couldn't throw it in the ocean. But at the end of the day, the guys are just buying into the game plan. You know, I got to give them all the credit because, German's a good player, but we said if he's going to get 20, it needs to be on 20 shots. You know, it's got to be that kind of night for him. And then the rest of the guys, the way we defended, we were giving some things up from an offensive standpoint where if their big's going to pick and pop and make threes, we were going to live with some of those. And they did. So at the end of the game, they made a couple, but we stayed the course. And then late, we just switched 5 ways. And then, German was our guy was on the island with German, and Milos did a good job of just switching and making him shoot over the top.
What was the biggest key for guys like Isaiah and Makai guarding German?
It was tough, and got to give Makai majority of the credit there in the second half. He denied him a few times. It's league play. We know what they're running. They know what we're running. Makai was able to catch wind of that, and he denied him 2 or 3 times and made it difficult for Germany to get the catch. Then a secondary guy has to run their offense or come off the ball screen, and that's towards our advantage. But at the end of the day, we had multiple guys step up on both sides of the ball. Isaiah Coleman-Lands come in and hit big threes, and Day Grant down the stretch, man. He just, that kid is going to be special. But Bam got off to a good start. He made some shots early, and Eli has continued to grow, and Makai played a lot on German and did a great job. But Precious Aya, in 19 minutes, 8 points, 8 rebounds, and those kind of things. Josh Brewer got his first crack, in league play as a starter. I thought he did some good things to start the game. Just a lot of guys came in and contributed to this team win.
As you mentioned, down a couple guys. Looks like Milos and McNamara are really beginning to assert themselves more and become contributors, even more so in various ways out there.
Yeah, those guys are doing a good job. I think Eli is becoming more aggressive. He's doing a lot of work outside of practice, as you can tell. He's getting comfortable going over either shoulder. I think this kid's got a lot of talent. I know he has a lot of talent. Just wanted to surface. I've been around some good bigs, and, we're doing the same things we did to those guys who I've coached as been pros, been fortunate to be around as an assistant coach, and we're doing the same things with him, and you can see his growth. Bam was trending this way before his injuries last year, and I just think if those guys just continue to stay the course, you'll continue to see the growth in these guys.
I know you mentioned Makai Larry's effort, especially guarding German. He did also have a couple of big plays snuffing out NIU offensive rebounds by stripping the ball. Right. Could you speak a little bit more in depth to his effort, even if things don't show up on the stat sheet?
That's a good question, because at the end of the day, we talked about staying connected with all the ball screen action with German. And what Makai was able to do on that steal, he was able to deflect the ball because he stayed connected. And that's big part, because you get a guy like that room, not only can he get by the guy in front who's guarding, but he can get by the next guy. So Makai did a great job making him work for catches, but also on his dribble to stay connected with him and try to get him going east to west instead of north to south. So it was important for us to get him stopped because he's a really good player, and Makai was able to get his hand on the ball and deflect that to get a steal.
When you see somebody hitting free throws like Isaiah did at the end of the game to clinch a
Right.
big win for you, what's going through your mind on the sideline? Are you either thinking "sweet" or "thank God" or what do you just?
Absolutely thanking God, but that's for sure. But no, Isaiah's a good player. You know, Day Grant, who we messed with his free throw, and I'm off of it until the spring because he was shooting. Far from the free throw line. He was at the nail, but he was a step or so back. And I just talked to him about stepping closer to the free throw line. And we went for 2 weeks eliminating the spin. And I hate to do that, but since he was missing, I was just trying to help him. But now Day-Day's back to doing his own routine, and we'll deal with that in the spring or summer. But Isaiah Coleman stepped up and made those free throws. Makai started the game off. He missed 2. He's very capable of making those free throws as well.
I guess when you're down 2 players, it's a little bit more of a challenge, both for the players and for yourself, to manage the foul situation. They ran up a couple of quick ones right there, but you guys managed to get through it.
We did. Eli and Bound picked up 2 fouls, and then Precious in the first half, he picked up 2, and actually Precious asked to come out. And I said, hey, you can't. You got to suck it up, especially the way he was rebounding the basketball. But, no, I thought the guys just stepped up, and, we played some guys heavy minutes in that second half just because I knew they would do their job, and they had to suck up because you're down 2 guys, 2 starters, by the way. You got to find other guys who can do it, and that's why I was utilizing those timeouts or trying to save them to that under that 8-minute mark till I know I was going to need those timeouts to rest some of my guys.
Is there any kind of an update on Delonte and Nike?
Delonte's probably day-to-day. Nike had the flu. He did everything in his power to play. He came to walk through this morning. We kept him away from everyone, but he and Carsey did a great job putting him through some basketball stuff test-wise, and he was doing well. And then once they got him up, his heart rate up, and he was on the bike, he went back the other way, and it was just it was our call. We don't want it to be something that set him back even a week or 2 more, but hopefully both those guys will be close to going or ready to go next week.
All right, thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Congratulations, great game.
Thank you.
Describe your feelings when you're standing at the free throw line and seeking free throws to clinch not just a win, but a win in a game like that against a team like that.
It felt great, to be honest. As you probably all know, we had some free throw shooting woes recently, so it felt good to kind of put that behind us, hopefully, and we get a good step going forward, and we knock down our free throws.
Has coach been making you shoot extra in practice?
Oh, 100%. We all have to make at least 50 as a team and per person. So,
you had a big game with 15 points and second on the team with 5 rebounds. Do you look to make the big play or look to make bigger plays, especially when your bench was as shortened as it is with Nike and Delonte both being out?
I just try to play the game as hard as I can at all times. I feel like I'm a firm believer in you control what you can control, and if you play hard, the game's going to show you love back, and tonight showed us love and we got the win.
How much of a challenge was it to play against team-wise and everything, German? Everything seems to go through him, and there was one point in the second half where he seemed to be just kind of taking over for them.
Oh, he's definitely the head of the snake, but they're a really good team all around. But he's obviously the main focus, and we just have to make it a team effort to stop a guy like that. He's a prolific scorer, so we got to just pack it in and make other guys try to beat us, and tonight it worked.
What was the primary difference between this game and the first time you played them up in DeKalb?
Well, last game they had 32 points in the paint, so we try to make that a huge focus in practice, and we try to keep it out the middle and make them shoot outside shots. And that was our objective going into the game. I think we did a pretty good job.
All right, anything else? All right, thank you, Isaiah.